Hi there. So in this video, I just wanted to give you a quick hack really on how you can quickly calculate what the end value of a property would be, after you've refurbished it, or you want to know what the value of the property is likely to be in the area. So this might be, if you're taking on a flip project and you want to try and figure out, okay, what's the maximum price of properties sold for in the area, or if you're looking to, buy a property as like a buy to let and you're looking to do a bit of a refurbishment on it and then refinance it. What value is that going to be going to come out at the end of it? Now, essentially, there's probably multiple ways of figuring out what the end value is going to be, but in my eyes, there's probably three main ways. So the first way would be to go and contact local agents. That's probably the most kind of obvious way, if you like. So have a chat to local agents. Find out, if you said to them, okay, if I bought this property, if I got it returned to, if I got it into like A1 condition, what do you think you could value it at? And you always, have to obviously take this information with a pinch of salt, because quite often agents will, let's just say overinflate sort of prices in order to kind of get your business. So if they think you're going to, put it with them for sale, then it might be that they overestimate the value a little bit. So again, it's always worth kind of looking at multiple sources of information to try and figure out what the value is. And it's also maybe worth saying to them, look, I want to value it so it's going to get sold like quickly. I don't want it hanging around for 6 months waiting for someone to buy it. I just want to get it on the market and get it sold. So let's ask their opinion on that. So the first way is ask for agents, local estate agents' opinions. The second way is look at comparisons on Rightmove, and so this could be like you're looking, obviously, what's you put the postcode in for the property in a particular area and look what's currently on the market for sale, and within a particular area, and what's been sold subject to contract. Now this works, and it gives you a good idea of how it can be done. The only issue with this is the property's not actually sold, and you don't really know kind of what it was sold for. So it might have a guide price or an offers over price of, let's say 300,000, and it may be marked up as sold subject to contract, but you don't know through the process of that offer being accepted how many offers were made, and you don't know what it ended up at. It might be that it went for less than 300,000, or it could have gone for more than 300,000, but it just kind of gives you a guideline as to what it went for. Now, the third way, and probably almost the most certain way, is by having a look at what properties have actually sold for. And all that information gets recorded by Land Registry, but getting the information from Land Registry can be quite a drag. Now, it's worth saying that the information held at Land Registry is a little bit out of date, because obviously the information only gets posted to Land Registry once the sale's gone through. So it could be, between 3 and 6 months kind of out of date, but what it does, it gives you a definite figure of what that property actually sold for, and it's the figure that a lot of valuers would use. So if you're going to get a mortgage valuation, for example, they would probably they would go online and they would have a look from Land Registry to see what prices of properties in that street have actually sold for. So I'm going to show you a quick hack in order to get that information like really quickly. So I'm just going to share my screen. So let's just share that. So hopefully you can see a Rightmove screen. So if you were, so I've just looked at some properties in Coventry. So let's just say we were interested in this particular property here. So this has come up. We're interested in it, but we want to know, is 269,000 a good price for this property? At the moment we have, unless you know the market in the area really, really well, you have no idea. So if we click on the property, it takes us obviously into the next screen, gives you a bit more information about it. And then what you want to be doing is scrolling right down to where it says market information. So you click on market information here, and then you can, what this is telling you is basically all the properties that are for sale nearby, and you can then click on the ones that tells you under offer. So these again all the properties nearby that are under offer. But and it actually tells you the distance they're away. So again, this gives you a good gauge of what's on the market and what's been kind of sold subject to contract, and what's kind of currently being offered. But again, if you actually want to find out what properties in the area have sold for, click on this sold section here. And then what I always do is I kind of ignore kind of most of this bit, and I scroll straight to the bottom and click on compare to more sold prices. And what this does is it takes you to a slightly different screen. And just as another added little bonus, if you don't know what the postcode is in the area that you're looking at, if someone's just sent you a link to a property, you can go through to this and it'll actually tell you the postcode of the property. And it tells you a little bit, obviously, about the information of the average price in the area. So you can kind of get a gauge from that. So obviously the property we're looking at is a little bit over average. And it tells you a bit about kind of what's gone on in the market in that area. But this is kind of the information that we're really interested in. So we're looking at this area only, and there's 21 properties sold. So what I generally do is look within, and this is kind of what values would do, is looking within a quarter mile of the area. So it gives you this nice little round circle of the property that we're looking at. You're only really interested in stuff probably in the last sort of couple of years. Anything older than that is, is fairly irrelevant, because obviously you want to know what the price is going to be, what the price was sold for recently, and obviously what the potential sale price is going to be in the near future. And then you can also look at it by property type. So if the property we're looking at was a, let's just say, I think it was a semi-detached. So we can click on semi-detached. And what this does is just kind of filters it down a little bit more. So and then you can then sort it by either date sold, price, that sort of stuff. But I think date sold is a good thing to use. So this is now telling us, properties that have actually sold within a quarter of a mile of the property that we're interested in the last 2 years, and they're a similar type of property. So it's now obviously given us the address and the details of these properties. So what I would then do is start to collate some of this information. So what I can do is, if you copy it, so if you just do a Control-C and copy it, and then just get a spreadsheet up, and you can drop the address into a spreadsheet. So you can put the address in there, and then the type of property. I would always just kind of record what it is. So you've got a good idea when you're looking back on your notes what you've make sure that it's a comparative sort of property that you're looking at. So it's a 3-bed semi-detached property, and the price this one sold for was 272,000. So you can drop that in there, and you can also put like a note section next to it to sort of say, is there anything particular about this property that you can see that it's got it's got a garage on the side. So you could just put a note in there to say garage. So again, it just gives you a bit more kind of information. And then what you want to do is kind of go down this list and add all these properties in. And then what it does, it starts to build a picture up of of the area, basically, kind of what price the properties are selling for. And then 255,500. So we'll just copy that, paste that in there. And is there anything in particular? So this place hasn't got a garage, but it might be. Again, sometimes you can have a look at the if you want to have a look at the pictures, because that's the great thing it shows you is you can have a quick snapshot of the actual condition the property was. So just by looking at the pictures, you can sort of say this property is pretty immaculately presented, so it doesn't need any work, this one. So you could just kind of put in there I know A1 condition, something like that. So it kind of gives you an idea. And if you kind of do this for a number of properties, so as I say, I would probably go down this list and maybe do well, how many is in this list? There's 13, so there's not that many in this. You could do kind of all 13. And then that will give you a really good indication of a band, really, of what the price, what the lowest one is, what the highest one is, whether there's any particular things, whether they've got a garage, what sort of condition it is. And it starts to build a picture then of what the properties have actually sold for. And then you can then kind of overlay this with information from agents and obviously information for properties that are currently on the market. And it should give you a bit of an idea then of what properties are going to be selling for. So I hope that helps. I'll put another video together probably on the next time on how you can figure out comparables in another way as well. So speak to you soon. Cheers. Bye now.